Hi, Algebra 1 Part 2P students. It's Miss Cash again. I'm going to explain to you how to do the first section of our new chapter, Systems of Equations in Delta Math. It is a very simple process. This is new, but it's so similar to stuff you already know how to do. I think you're going to find it very, very simple, and this is what this chapter is about. We're going to take lines, linear equations, and we're going to graph them on Desmos. And we're going to have two lines in the same problem. And when we graph those two lines, our solution is going to be where the two lines intersect. So you already know how to graph lines in Desmos, and you know how to find their x and y intercepts and their slopes and things like that. But what you haven't talked about yet is how when you have two lines, the answer or the solution when given two lines is the point where those two lines intersect. And so that's what we're doing today. So I'm going to take you through some sample questions, show you how to do these. They're very similar. I'm going to go back and forth between Desmos and Delta Math and show you a couple examples. And hopefully once you watch this video, it's going to be very, very simple for you to do, and you can tackle those problems on your own. So I'm going to go into Desmos. You're going to lose my picture, but that's okay. You don't need it to be able to do this. So here's the first type of example that they're going to give you, and it says solve the following system of equations graphically on the set of axes below. So they're going to give you two equations right here, and I'm going to, on a piece of paper, write those two equations down. Make sure you have paper and you're writing these down, because it's too much to remember when you go into Desmos to memorize it. There's just no way you're going to get it right if you try to memorize it. So write it down. Once you've written them down, go into Desmos, and I'm going to graph those two lines. So the two lines I'm going to graph are y equals x plus 4. I hit return, and you see that red line is that line graphed. And then y equals negative 1/2 x minus 8. If I hit return, that's the blue graph. Now, I don't like how this skips from 0 to 2 to 4 to 6 to 8. I want it to be a one-to-one graph. I always want a one-to-one graph. It's easier to read. Now, this goes from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a one-to-one graph. All you have to do is hit the minus button to get that to do that. I don't know why Desmos sets it up that way. It's just confusing for kids. But that's how it's set up. So if you just hit the minus button, it'll go to a one-to-one graph, and then you'll be set. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to regraph this red line back in Delta Math. Now, I need to pay attention to where it crosses the x and y axis. Those are going to be the easiest points to find, usually. Now, as long as those are corner points, I can use them. So for the red line, it crosses the x-axis at -4, the y-axis at 4. So I'm going to go back into Delta Math. It crosses the x-axis at -4. I click it. Crosses the y-axis at 4. I click it, and when I do those two clicks, it will graph the line for me. If I do something wrong and that ends up being the wrong line, all I have to do is click it and it'll disappear. I can start over. Okay, so it's real simple. So there's the first line. For the second line, I'm going to go back. Okay, so that was the red line that I just graphed. Now I'm going to graph the blue line. It looks like that blue line, it crosses the red line at the point -8, -4, and it crosses the y-axis at -8. So I'm going to go back. It crosses the y-axis at -8, crosses the x-axis at -8, -4. And then my answer for this is going to be where these two lines intersect. And you can see that's this ordered pair right here. So that's the ordered pair -8, -4. So I'm going to go down here to the solution, and I'm going to type in -8, -4. I type it in as an ordered pair with the parentheses. I submit the answer. I tell it yes, and we got it right. So that's how you do those questions. Let's do one more. I'm going to do this a little quicker. I'm going to write these down on a piece of paper. Y equals -x plus 2. Y equals 2x minus 4. I'm going to go into Desmos. I get rid of what I had in there. The first equation was y equals -x plus 2. The second equation was y equals 2x minus 4. They're graphed. I'm going to draw the green graph first. Looks like that crosses the x-axis at 2, the y-axis at 2. I go back into Delta Math. Crosses the x-axis at 2, the y-axis at 2. I'm going to go back to Desmos. Let's pick up that purple line there. It looks like it's crossing the y-axis at -4, the x-axis at 2, y-axis -4, x-axis 2. Where do these two intersect? At this point right here. The coordinates for that point are right 2, so 2, comma, up 0, 0. Make sure you put them in parentheses. Hit submit answer. Yes. And we got it right. So that's graphing systems of equations. It's very, very simple.